So in the simplest world, you would not worry about TP equals question mark TP equals 1. Yeah, you wouldn't worry about it, okay? If you would just stick your article, it would work just fine. In the world of the 21st century, where the world keeps moving up and up and up, even the small businesses are forced to have something more than just text. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's why JOOMLA and other content management systems came to existence, to help you without knowing PHP, HTML, and other technology to create interactive websites. Okay? So now we have this beautiful template. In this case, it's the simplest one we could find, and we can stick modules that help you bring additional content to your website. Are we there? Can we move to menus? Okay.
Okay. So menus are actually a type of module. This is actually a module position here. And we can put menus on the side. We can put menus anywhere we want. Just keep in mind that menus are actually a type of module because it's not always intuitive. But just keep that in the back of your head.
And the reason it is that way, if you happen to have just one article, like if you happen to have just in the very beginning of your exploration about what you're doing, you could disable everything and just put, I'm a financial services guy, I'm the best in the world. Call me up. That's it. You would have just right there. Then, as you get to develop your offering, you can add menus and add content into it. Okay.
And you can have more than one menu on a website. You've probably seen this before. Sometimes you've got a menu up here and you've got a menu over here. Sometimes you have a menu here with like more information about cats, and cats is the top one, and then you have Siamese and Persian over here. So you can do a lot of things with menus. You can have different levels. This particular template does not support drop-down menus, okay? But just about every other template does, okay? So when we go to menus, this template, this website so far only has one menu. If you go to menus in Menu Manager, I'm going to show you, there's only one menu there. Now you could have more, and you would click New if you wanted another menu. Okay. But right now we'll just look at the main menu. If you click on Menu Items right here, this is not so intuitive. You don't click on the title, you click on Menu Items. That shows you all the menu items.
No, it's just interesting that like you don't click on the title. Almost any other time you would click on
Yeah, if you click on the title, I'll show you what happens if you click on the title. If you click on the title, you're going to get this. So that's not very helpful. So we're going to cancel that. Instead, we're going to click. You can either click over here, or you can go directly to the main menu from the top. Okay. And this tells us what we have. We have 4 menu items. One of them is not published. Okay. Here's the order. We can change the order, just like we can change the order for articles. So we move amenities up, move amenities up again. And now, instead of saying contact us amenities, it should say amenities contact us. Yep, and that's what it does. So you see there's a lot of similarities. No matter what you're editing, you can change the orders of things just using the numbers and the arrows. Okay? If you want to create a new menu item to an article, you have to have already written that article. If you try to create a menu item to something that does not exist, you will not be able to. Okay? Which is why we tend to start with menus and then move articles and then move on to menus, so you have some stuff to link to. Okay? So click on New. And what this is giving you, it's giving you a list of everything that at this point you can create a menu item to. Some of these are not going to make much sense. You're not going to create a menu item to your backup features. That's silly. But you are a lot of times going to create a menu item for articles. And if you click on articles, you see some of the options that are there. Okay. And the most common one you're going to use is called article layout. And that shows a single article. You're going to use that a lot. Okay. Occasionally, you're going to use a category blog layout sometimes. And all that's going to do is it's going to show all of the articles in a particular category in kind of a blog layout, which is just the same as we saw on the home page, where you can have multiple articles. You can have one going all the way across, and you can have a couple of columns if you want. And that's what it is. It's a category blog layout. So those are the ones that you're going to see the most often. Article layout, category blog layout. And you might not use this one at all. Okay? Article layout is going to give you a link to a single article, okay, which you've already written. So we're going to click on article layout. And you click on when you enter a title here, this is the title of the menu item. This is how it's going to appear on the front end, just like amenities is a title of a menu item here. So
And at this point, really, each one of you should have all the menus you wrote down in the beginning of the seminar. Does everyone have the menus that you want to have for your website? If you don't, this is a good time to create all of them.
well, if you don't have your content yet, it's going to be hard to link menu items to it. So don't stress about that right now. Basically, at this point, and we're gonna have a little time later to kind of go off on our own and do this. But right now, when I say menus, I actually mean like breakfast menu, not menus on a website. I could select the article. I might have an article which has my menu on it. Or often for a restaurant menu, you will see that a lot in a PDF, just because it's really easy for people to print it that way. Or if, vegetarian, catering, a lot of times PDFs are good for that. And it helps to have it both, have an article and also have an option to download the PDF. That way people want it, they can just grab it. Okay. So all I'm doing right now is I'm creating a new menu item on the main menu, which is that menu up here, right? Hello Amenities Contact Us. I'm calling it breakfast menu. I selected an article, pretty much at random at this point, just because I don't have a breakfast article menu, but normally you would choose the correct article. Okay. I'm leaving everything else as it is, and I'm clicking on Save. I go back to the front end and I refresh. It's going to show up. Okay. Now, if I want to move the breakfast menu so that it's before Contact Us, what would I do? Anyone?
Click the up or down arrow next to it.
Okay. So let's click on the up arrow over here. I gotta click on it again, I guess. Yep. Amenities breakfast menu, Contact Us. Homepage, refresh. Okay. Does everyone at this point understand just creating a menu item that goes to an article? Is anyone confused about this? Because this can be confusing. Okay. So we know that this is very easy. We're going to go over it one more time very quickly. We went to menus. We went to main menu. We clicked on new. We clicked on articles. We clicked on article layout. We gave it a title. We chose an article and we clicked on save. And that's all we did. And all we did was we created a link on a menu to one article. Okay. But let's create a link to something else. Okay. So let's click on new. You're in the menus, main menu. It says menu item manager, main menu, and click on new. Okay. So right now we don't have any photos in here, so it's going to be a little bit weird. Let's try Foca Gallery. So click on Foca Gallery. And again, it's going to show you a list, but when you hover over it, it's going to explain what they're talking about. So this would show you, the first one gives you a list of all the categories. Let's say you had 10 categories, Say you were a school and you had a category for each grade of pictures. So that's one option. You can also show a list of all the images within a particular category, which is probably more popular. So this is the one. You don't need to use this, and you don't need to use the control panel. So just look at the first two. So we're going to choose Foca Gallery category layout. Okay. The fact that we don't have a category might cause a problem. Yes, it is. Okay. But right now we're just going to call it Photo Gallery. Remember, this is the title that's going to show up on the front end in the menu itself. Okay. And there's some options. And these options are going to be different depending on what type of menu item you're creating. For Foca Gallery, you have to choose the category, which we can't do because we don't have any. Pagination just is like whether it's going to be like, go to the next page of images, the next page of images. You can choose whether to show that or not. Display the category. These are all things you can just play with and see what they do. Okay? And this actually has a lot of optional settings, which don't let them scare you. Most of them you never have to look at. If you want to, you play with them, see what they do. You don't like it, change it back. You're not going to hurt anything with this. Okay? So you can go crazy, but there's no reason to. Okay? Foca Gallery is actually pretty easy to use. Don't get scared by this. Okay? But these are just options that are here if you want them. Okay? So I'm going to click on Save. Now again, it goes to be the last item on the list, but I can move it up if I want to by making it, say, 5 and clicking on Save again. It's that little disk box. Okay, actually, I gotta move it up one more. Let's see what happens on here.